Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, March 21st. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we will get started shortly. Got a couple things here to update, and we should be good to go. Looks good. Good. All right, one last thing here. And it looks like we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, perfect. Link is sent out. All right, perfect. I'll give it a few moments for people to make their way in. I'll just post this up on our other pages as well. All right, one last place to post this up. And then we'll get started. It's going to post it up on our social media. So good morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, March 21st. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. Just going to post up this link real quick to our social media, and we should be good to go. I marked up this entry right here, pre-market. I didn't take it. I was just following it. I don't think pre-market is safe enough to trade just yet, in my opinion. You know, I looked at trades yesterday. Trades didn't hit yesterday. This one hit. So I'm not in the mood to take like risky trades yet, not for this specific strategy until I feel comfortable. You know, obviously the best results come between 6:30 and 9. So I'm going to stick to those. So I guess today we could, I mean, we'll see how the market moves from now until 8. If the market's kind of slow or doesn't go too many entries, then maybe I'll stay on until 9 because seems like a lot of the entries come in around that time. So, all right, guys, morning, everybody. Looks like people are still making their way in. Let's see who's in the chat so far. Let's see, morning, Jacob. Morning, Maddie. Morning, Kenny. Morning, David. Morning, Martha. Maddie said a sell also came up while that buy was running. Wondering to see how it'll play it, how it till plays out. Okay, yeah. So Maddie's talking about this one right here, I believe, right? Or are you talking about one before that? I think there was one that came up before, right here. Still running. This one didn't, or this one played out already, looks like. So there's one right here that played out before. And I think that was it. I don't see anything else here. Oh, this one right here, this sell. Okay. There's another sell that came up right here too. Yeah, it's still running. So it's still running and in profit. Yeah, it looks like it'll hit, Maddie. It's just really close to market open. So this right here might, I mean, it looks like it's gonna hit TP right there. Hey, Karen, morning. Morning, Jonathan. Morning, everybody. Yeah, but I see what you saw right there, Maddie. It's currently running right now. There's a couple entries that came up. There's about 3 that came up pre-market. This one came up full TP. Actually, no, this wasn't an entry. But there's a or high in between it. It's just these 2 right here. So the first one hit TP already. This one's still running in profit. Still not comfortable with it yet. So I mean, I haven't tested it pre-market, so that's why I'm not really comfortable with it. I don't know what the win rate is for anything before 6:30. So that's why I'm not really ready to take any of these entries. I'm just going to stick to like 6:30 to 8 or 6:30 to 9. because I want to stick with what works, obviously. I updated the spreadsheet, guys. So if you guys look at the premium group, I updated the spreadsheet to include yesterday's trades. Win rate total for my strategy is between 630 and 9. It's 92.9% win rate. Total profit 3,800 pips. Total trades in like the entire day from 630 to 12 is 87.4% win rate, 4,900 pips. So total trades from 630 to 12 is 90 wins, 13 losses, 87.4% win rate. For 630 to 9, it's a lot better. It's 52 wins, only 4 losses, 92.9% win rate, 3,800 pips. These 4 losses mainly happen around NFP. So, I mean, maybe you should just avoid NFP when it comes around. And mute everybody. I just muted everybody. Sorry, guys. See, Maddie just posted up the CNBC link. It said CNBC announced Dow rised 300 points. Yeah, so that might be a drop on open. So we'll see what happens here. Anyways, guys, back to the charts. So I'm just going to clean this up here. We don't really need this stuff. I don't want to be people to get confused with anything right now. So I think since we're testing the new strategy, guys, I'm going to focus on just the new strategy for now. I don't want to confuse people, and then I don't want to miss any entries. Yesterday, I wasn't looking at the chart. I missed one of the good entries. So I'm just going to focus on the new strategy for now, guys. So just keep that in mind. If you guys want to continue trading the momentum scalp variation and momentum scalp strategies, you guys are more than welcome. But I'm just going to stick with the high level momentum scalp. I think it's a lot easier if we just focus on one strategy, so there's no confusion here. Everybody's looking at the same thing, right? So we'll be looking at that right there. Let me check CNBC real quick. Let me see if there was news this morning. I don't think there was. There wasn't news this morning, but there's news at 7. So I will mark up 7 over here just so that we know to avoid trading during that time. Let me check my FX book. Yeah, 7 and 8:30. That's about it. 7 and 8:30, I think. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, crap. Okay. So Treasury Secretary Yellen's going to be speaking at 7 o'clock. I want to be a little careful when she starts speaking. You guys know what happens when she speaks. Okay, so that's the news that's coming up at 7 o'clock. I want to be careful. It's probably going to be a little crazy between like 7 and 8. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll only trade till 8 today. Today's one of those days where you might want to be a bit careful because Yellen's speaking. She's really big on regulation. And since they plan on increasing interest rates on Wednesday, they're just going to keep increasing interest rates, right, for the recession. There's another entry right here, guys. I didn't take it because it's right at market open. But there's another entry right here. There's a lower low. So this one looks like it already hit TP. Yeah, it did. So I don't know if you guys saw that right there. Went straight to TP. Lower low, bullish momentum, broken close past the pivots right there. Full TP. No, I'll keep the yellow pivot on. I don't think it's a big deal. I'll just leave it on for now. So I don't know if anyone saw that, but market pushed up from that entry right there. Hey, Dan, how's it going? Morning, Dan. AT. All right, guys, market is now open. I'll mark up opening price, but we're not really, we're going to disregard it for the entries. Like I'm just going to put it there so I know, so that I can be aware. But there goes market open price right there. And let's see where this ends up taking us, guys. So, all right, price is pushing up pretty heavy right now. Yeah, Treasury Secretary Yellen says the government could backstop more deposits if necessary, which obviously it's going to be necessary because all these banks are going to start crashing. A financial banana republic. UBS, Credit Suisse deal, put Switzerland reputation on the line. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. The Trump stuff's going on too. So it says Trump grand jury, live updates, expected indictment and payoff to porn star Stormy Daniels. a lot of stuff going on, guys, today. We got Yellen speaking. We got Trump's grand jury update. We got, it's got a lot of stuff going on. So we'll take the market as it comes, but, obviously we'll be a little careful with these entries here. All right, so we got a higher high right here. Let's see if we get a sell signal that comes down below the pivots over here. If that's the case, you might have an entry here for a sell. It's got to be patient and wait for it. So I'm just going to focus on these entries here, guys, because these are like almost for sure to come up, right? These will basically come up for the most part. For the other strategies, they haven't been coming up too often, at least not during our live session time. So let's focus on these now because there's actually entries that come up applying this specific strategy. So all we're looking for right here is we're looking for a valid momentum signal. We have the higher high right here. It's above the pivots. We're looking for a sell signal to break and close below pivots 1 and 2. If we have that, it's an entry for a high level momentum scalp. So we just got to wait. I mean, if there's no entry for it, that's completely fine. We can just wait for the next one. But that's pretty much what we're looking for right now. Yeah, Jacobs, did you short the market when Yellen speaks? I mean, that's a good strategy. I mean, it's not necessarily bad. It's typically what we used to do. If you guys remembered before, like we would always short the market when Yellen would speak, and we would buy the market when Powell would speak. It's still kind of similar, but it's not. Well, I mean, during COVID, it was like a big thing because it was like night and day, right? Like Powell would say anything to make the economy look right. Yellen would like smack down regulation every single time. So it's a little different now because we're in a recession now. We're not necessarily in COVID where they can kind of make stuff up. Like they can't just say the economy is going to get better, right? They have to show numbers and reasoning behind it. So with the recession, it's a little different because Yellen's actually, she hasn't been taking the market like she used to because her regulation makes sense. She's not necessarily like pumping the market like Powell. She's like giving actual reasoning behind why we have to increase interest rates and the benefits of it and stuff like that. But yeah, exactly. Jacob said Powell reminds me of that guy who can't bring bad news, right? Yeah, Powell's a money printer. I mean, he's still good for bullish moves, but it's not the same. Because with COVID, nobody knew what was going on. Everyone is like, anybody could say anything and price would spike, right? For the recession, the economy is obviously not doing well. So there's only so much they can say to like bring it back up. And the thing is with Powell, he's actually discussing interest rate increases as well. The Fed's like on the same page now. Before they weren't on the same page, but now they are on the same page. So it's kind of a mixed bag when you try to base things off like whoever's speaking. All right, we still got the higher high over here. There's no high lows in between. That's a good thing. If there's a high low that comes up in between these two, then there's not going to be anything for us to take. But right now, if we get a sell signal that closes below the pivots over here, we get a possible entry for a high low momentum scalp. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Morning. All right. So we're kind of just waiting here, guys. Waiting game, looking for the sell signal to come up. Volatility is not too crazy, which is a good thing. I hate when the volatility gets all crazy, but then it makes it extremely difficult to get into trades because you got to figure out which TP stop loss you'll use. Right now, 300 pips is fine. It looks like not too bad. All right, so we're looking for a sell signal right here. If we can get a sell signal, this will be a possible entry, but you got to wait for the sell signal to actually close, right? You got to actually wait for it. Don't just hop in for no reason. Wait for it to actually close. And then if it does close properly, then you can possibly hop into it. Volatility is kind of spiking here, so make sure you wait for the actual candle to close. Candle's kind of big though. I'm not going to take this trade, guys. The candle's way too big. I mean, if you guys want to take it, feel free. I'm not going to take it though. I'll give you guys a heads up. Yeah, that candle is way too huge. I mean, it's probably gonna hit, but that candle was just way too big. I wasn't gonna play with that. Because if it retraces up, I'm gonna get screwed because it's gonna hit my stop loss before it comes down to TP. So it's not worth the risk on this one, guys. Typically I would take it, but nah, not today. So you can see right how it's retracing back. If the candle's huge like this, you don't want to take the entry because price will typically retrace up to the candle and then it'll come right back down. Or sometimes it'll retrace like halfway and then come right back down, but you don't want to take the risk like that, right? There's going to be more entries. So I'm not taking this one here, of course. Candle's way too big. Yeah, so we'll follow it and we'll see. But I mean, obviously, I'm not looking to take a trade here. Or you know what I'll do here is I'll just put a alert there, so we don't have to like watch this with it open because I don't want people to think that we're in this trade. So this is going to be a I don't want people to get confused and think we're in this trade. I just put an alert down there. So if price comes down, it's going to alert us that price hit. But I don't want you guys to think that we're in that position. It's just too risky of a move to even think about. So the volatility here is kind of slow, surprisingly. Let's check the indices for today. Okay, so it looks like everything here is pretty much bullish. The Dow's up almost 300 points. S&P's up 41 points. NASDAQ's up 115 points. Russell 2K is up 19 points. VIX is currently down 6%. So I got too much here. Treasury Secretary Yellen says government could backstop more deposits if necessary to stop contagion. Yeah, I could see this. She's going to follow up on this at 7. So we'll see that it ends up going. See, like this entry right here, I wouldn't want to take because like if you were to enter this trade here, I would want it to hit TP already. Like you'd be in this position for like 5 minutes now. It's too long of a position for a scalp. Jacob's asking, what's max lot size you can trade on IC? Anyone knows? I have no idea. Jacob, do you guys use standard lot sizing or mini lot sizing? Like, is it similar to FTMO or is it, okay. So they use mini lot sizing then. Okay. Yeah. Maria said it's 100 lots. Thanks, Maria. Good to know. All right, so there's a possible entry here in the opposite direction. So we currently have a lower low. There's a lower high here, but this can easily disappear if price pushes up higher. So just keep in mind there's an opposite entry here that could be playing out. However, if this here closes, then there's no opposite entry. So the thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that these can repaint. So like say, for example, you get the buy signal, but there's a lower high on that specific buy signal, that's completely fine. The only difference is if this here closes and then there's a buy signal after it, you can't use that anymore unless it repaints. So that's why you have to be actively looking at the charts when these entries come up, because the higher high or lower highs or, higher lows or lower highs can still get shifted. It's just a matter of determining, what it looks like when the momentum candle actually comes up. Because for example, here, this candle is still right next to it. If we get a buy signal that comes up here and it pushes past this lower high, this here will disappear. And this lower high will get pushed up higher. So just look at this here. Like if this gets pushed up higher, this will disappear and it'll push up a higher lower high. So if this pushes it up higher and you have a buy signal, it's still technically game for entry. Looks like the market's pretty flat. There's not really much direction here. So you guys want to be very careful if you're thinking about taking any entries. Market's not really doing too much now. It's just going sideways. I mean, eventually it's going to break out of this. So that's something to look out for. But at the moment, Definitely nothing. See, Billionaire Mindset's asking, good morning. What's your thoughts on today's market, bull or bear? So we can look at the higher time frames over here. Looks pretty bullish to me. So if you look over here on the 2 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute time frames, everything except the 1 minute is pretty bullish. So you can see prices above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. The only time frame that price is below the pivots is the 1 minute over here, but this can be easily shifting back to the upside. So looking at pretty much everything else over here, it looks pretty bullish. So it's probably gonna be bullish, but you can't say because Yellen is going to speak at 7 o'clock. It's 6:41 right now. Yellen's going to speak in about 20 minutes. If you guys are familiar with Yellen, she is a Treasury Secretary. She's big on regulation. So when she starts speaking at 7, she can push price right back down. So even though it looks bullish right now, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay bullish. Because when she starts speaking, price can come all the way back down. So full TP on that high level momentum scalp, guys. If you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's fine. I didn't take it, so it's not going to count. It just hit TP right now. So whoever took it, great work. If you guys didn't, completely fine. It wasn't a safe trade. You can see here that it took a very long time for it to hit. It took about 1, 2, let me just measure it. It took like 8 minutes. That's a long time for a scalp. Zach said I held that too long, not taking big candle next time, but full TP. Nice work, Zach. So Zach actually took it. One of our members here, Zach, he took the trade here. He was applying the high level momentum scalp. It hit full TP, but he said, yeah, he's not going to do it again because it's stressful if you're holding on to this position for that long. These scalps are supposed to hit on like the next candle, right? You're not supposed to be holding on to it for like 10 minutes or so. It's too long of a hold. There's another possible entry right here for a buy. If this here closes, and about 40 seconds left on it. No, it's got to be a valid momentum signal, guys. So if it doesn't close as a valid signal, there's not going to be an entry. I kind of don't like how the market's moving right here anyways. It seems like the market's kind of staying flat until Yellen speaks. So Deswell's asking what TP and stop loss are you using? 1030. Deswell, it's the same thing as what we've been using for all the other scalps. 100 300, 1030 split. We can adjust it to 25 500, but all my testing is done from a 1030 split. So all the results here that I have. So I have a 92.9% win rate, 52 wins, 4 losses. This is using a 1030 split. So that's what I'm using for myself. I mean, you can use whatever you like, but for me personally, I think this is a solid TP stop loss. Wesley's asking what time does she speak? She speaks at 7 o'clock right here, Wesley, where I have this red line. So she's speaking in about 15 minutes. In about 15 minutes, we'll probably see price dump even heavier because she typically dumps price. She's big on regulation. And they already discussed what she's going to say. So there's already an article here. It says Treasury Secretary Yellen says the government could backstop more deposits if necessary to stop contagion. So basically, if the banks start failing more, she's basically saying that, the government's willing to take action. But then, with every action, there's a consequence, right? So even though banks are going to take action, what's going to happen? They got to increase interest rates because where are they going to get the money to back up these banks? Right? We're going to get taxed one way or another. So, you can't just do something and then there's no consequence to it. So they're surely proposed here that they're going to, they can backstop if they want, but they're going to need to get the money from somewhere. So either through taxing or through raising interest rates. Interest rates is obviously going to be first step. So, and they're already planning on increasing interest rates today anyways, today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow the Fed's speaking. So if you guys saw the calendar for Wednesday, we have Fed Day, Fed economic projections, Fed statement, Fed's funds rate, Fed press conference. They're basically going to say, okay, we're going to increase interest rates. That's literally what's going to happen tomorrow. So today's just a preview of tomorrow. All right, there's a possible entry right here. Again, this candle has to close with the buy signal. It has to be above. I didn't close. It did not close, fortunately. All right. Yeah, Maddie said it closed and then it went away. Yeah, that's why you gotta wait for like the very last. You gotta wait for it to like. Sometimes you gotta wait for like a second after. The market's just starting to move a little more volatile right now. Um, there's no entries coming up though. Let's see where it's at. All right, so we're waiting for. I mean, there's a buy signal that's possibly going to come up, but price is already above the pivots, guys. So there's no room for late entry or any type of entry at all because the so this candle already closed above the pivots 1 and 2. I'll just take off pivot 3, guys, so there's no confusion here. Or I'll leave it up for now actually, because I'll leave it up for instances where it might be an entry for Vince's criteria. So I'll just leave it up, but I want to make sure that you guys are aware that it's pivots 1 and 2. This one right here is used for Vince's criteria, pivot 3. But yeah, the candles are kind of crazy right now. It looks like the market's moving kind of funky before Yellen speaks, which is not like a huge surprise because it seems like there's a lot of speculation going on with regard to, I feel like market might get pumped up a little bit. And then when Yellen speaks over here at 7, price might just come back down. I don't think they're doing a live stream of like, you see, she's speaking. Yeah, I don't think there's a live stream for it here. Let's see. I mean, we'll see. It doesn't really matter. It's going to affect the market either way. So like, we'll just be looking for it, but there's not necessarily going to be. Yeah, C6 said it's entirely pumped up for Yellen. Look at the 10 minutes, not going. It's not going to keep going. Not with Yellen speaking. So let's check the 10-minute C6 mentioned. Yeah, the 10-minute here, it already hit it established a higher high right there. So I think price will probably be coming down from this point, even on the 5 right here, C2. I don't think price will push up. It'll probably start to continue dropping from where it's currently at. Yeah, but no, good observation there because I didn't even realize that a higher high came up right there on the 5 and 10. So yeah, it looks like price pumped up right there on that initial candle. It's right here at 630. Price kind of pumped up a little bit, and then now it's coming right back down. So it's very overextended. It looks like price is looking at dumb. I wouldn't recommend just chasing a sell though. Like if you have an entry, then take it, but I wouldn't recommend just taking it and then praying it'll drop, right? Only take an entry if you have an actual strategy to align with it. Let's see, a question from Glenn. Glenn's asking, it established a higher high. Do we still have any entry if we get a buy signal? No, we don't. So you need a lower low to have a buy signal, Glenn. There's no lower low here. There's a higher high and there's a higher low. So there could have been an entry if another buy signal came above it, but price already closed above the pivot, so there's no entry. Like once this candle here closed above the pivots, there was no more entry for it because the whole setup was pretty much invalidated. And there's no sell entry here either because we have a sell momentum right here. So the next momentum candle is going to be a buy signal, but it's not going to be one that we could take unless we get a lower low. So there's just nothing for us to take right here at the moment. All right. So I think for today, guys, I'm only going to trade till 8 because there's just too much going on right now in the market. If there's just too many news events going on, like around this specific time, I was going to trade till 9 today, but I don't think it's really worth it. I think tomorrow I'll trade till 9 because the news isn't coming until like 11. Because the thing with Yellen, she's speaking at 7 o'clock. She's probably going to speak until like, or they're probably going to switch it off. Like she'll speak from like 7 till like 8, and then someone else will take over from 8 to 9. It's just not really a good day to take anything too risky. Because if you guys remember from the results, there was like certain days here. Let me check the results actually. So the day that we had a lot of losses was March 3rd. Let me check the news for that day. I feel like something happened on March 3rd that caused the price to kind of do that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to check the calendar from March 3rd. March 3rd. I feel like there was something else that happened on that day. Oh yeah, so there was inflation news on March 3rd and the Fed was speaking. So looking over here on March 3rd, this is the only day that we had like a lot of losses. Well, we didn't take the trades, but for my back test, a lot of the losses happened right here on March 3rd. Looking over here at the calendar, there was a lot of news that day. So we had ISM manufacturing employment, it was high impact, and ISM PMI. So we had pretty much inflation news right there, and then the Fed spoke right after. So this is just maybe a sign that, you know, when there's heavy news like this, probably avoid the market for the most part. It's better to be safe than sorry. So we were trying to figure out why there was losses on that day. I thought it was NFP, but it wasn't NFP actually. It was just a heavy news day, like a Fed day basically, but on a Friday. So this is actually not NFP. NFP was the following Friday right here. There's actually no trades. There's just like one trade on that Friday on NFP. So NFP looks like it's fine. The only day that has like issues is like these heavy Fed days. So for today's considered a Fed day as well because Yellen's speaking. I mean, tomorrow's the actual Fed day, but today's like a sneak peek of like what's going to happen tomorrow. Basically, they're going to discuss everything today that's going to be discussed tomorrow. So just be a little careful, guys, with your guys' entries. There's still nothing for us to take here. I'm still looking for something. If I see something good, I'll mark it up and then maybe I'll take it. I'll let you guys know if I'm taking it. But, you know, it's not a day to take like unnecessary risk because, you know, you just got to, you got to play fire with fire. Basically, I mean, you don't want to play fire with fire because if you're taking a risk and it's a risky day, you know, it can either end up really good or it can end up really bad. You don't really want to trade on days like that. You want to trade on days where you know what's going on in the market. Like for today, we don't know what Yellen's going to say. Yellen starts speaking about 5 minutes over here. When she starts speaking, price can either go up really high or it can go down really low. So you just want to be a bit cautious and aware of like what's going on in the market. So we for sure know something's going on between like 7 and 8. And then there's another news event here at 8:30, which is it's low impact, but still news. All right, so there's a lower low right here. This is another possible entry for a buy. Again, guys, you have to wait for it to close, right? It's really close to like Yellen starting to speak, so I don't know if this is one that I would necessarily want to take, but we'll see how this closes here. It has 30 seconds left on it. Again, you guys got to wait for it to actually close. Just, you guys got to keep that in mind. Wait for it to close, because if you don't, you can end up like this one over here, because this one looked like it was going to close and then it ended up not closing at the very last second. So you got to be, if you got to enter it late, then enter it late, right? Just make sure that it actually closes. Let's see. Does not look like it's going to close. Actually, it did. I'm not going to get into it though. It's too close to news price. News is right here in about less than 5 minutes. Yeah, exactly. So D said, I thought no trades within 5 minutes. Yeah, that's why I'm not taking it, D. So I'm just marking it up for you guys right here. Yellen's going to speak right here at 5. It's a different type of news event though. It's not like an immediate event. So she's not going to immediately start speaking at 7 o'clock, but you're going to see a lot of speculation happen between now and then. The news events that are really important are the ones where they actually report something at that specific time. But yeah, back to like the news over here, no trades within 5 minutes of news. It's a heads up for you guys. So we're disregarding red flags, but we're still taking into consideration news that's upcoming. This news event's a little different though. It's for Yellen to speak. So she doesn't necessarily speak on the mic like exactly at 7 o'clock. She's going to probably get on the camera around 7. And then as we get closer to, 7:30 later in the session, she'll start to actually speak. So it's not immediately at 7. We'll just follow it. We'll see if this plays out. I think it will. I think it's going to get pumped up until she starts speaking. So this is like a manipulated pump to the upside. And then I think from there, it'll probably, there you go, full TP. So if you guys caught it, great work. If you guys didn't, let's wait for the next one. So a nice full TP right there. It was a pre-Yellen pump, like kind of what we were expecting. And then when she starts speaking later, we'll see where this ends up going from there. So there you go. And there's this, an example of the setup, guys. So if you guys are wondering how this entry looks like, let me go down the criteria. Identify a higher high or lower low using the high-low indicator. There's a lower low right there. Second, identify a valid momentum signal. There's a valid buy signal right here. It's a green buy signal, the green candle within it. Third, confirm price breaking close past pivots 1 and or 2. We have this candle right here breaking and closing past pivots 1 and 2, the green and blue pivot. And then from there, you would enter on the close of the momentum candle. So as soon as the candle closed, that'd be the entry. And there's another entry right here using Vince's criteria. We have the low over here. We have this candle right here breaking and closing above it. And this is Vince's criteria here running to full TP. Just hit full TP. So 2 back-to-back full TPs right there. Momentum scalp, my version, and then Vince's version right here as well. So there's 2 entries that came up right after each other. However, no trades within 5 minutes of news. This is a different type of news event, though. It's not the news event where there's an actual release coming out. This is just Yellen speaking. So this is a little different compared to normal news. If you guys don't understand that, let me just show you an example. So for example, over here at, actually, never mind, take that back. Did this change? I'm tripping. What? I swear it said Yellen was speaking right here at 7, and it's not there anymore. So never mind, take that back. This is an actual news event. I'm going crazy here. No. Okay, so I take that back. Sorry, D. There was an actual news event there. Those existing home sales. But if this wasn't going on and it was just Yellen speaking, then it'd be different because there's no actual news event that's being released at 7 o'clock. There is a news event being released right here. It's existing home sales, medium impact news. So yes, 5 minutes before this news event, you would not be trading. So I would have skipped this one. I mean, I did skip it, but I would have skipped it again because specific reason for news. Yeah. All right, guys. So I just wanted to show you guys an example of like the entry there. There was 2 entries there that lined up. So if you guys sat in on the mentoring session yesterday, I mentioned how there was 2 different strategies that you guys can apply, and they usually come right after each other, or they usually come on the same candle. So this one down here is my entry. We had the momentum signal breaking, closing past the pivots. And then this one right here was Vince's criteria, breaking, closing past pivot 3. So you can see you could have taken 2 entries there. You could have taken this one, or you could have just held on to it and then got into this one right here and just kept writing it up higher. So 2 entries right there back to back. You guys can see how easy it is to apply. Identify the lower low, identify momentum, identify break and close past the pivots. Easy entry right there. And then if you want to continue it, Vince is right here, break and close past pivot 3. Another 100 pips right there. That had been 2 trades back to back. So pretty easy, guys. This is a strategy that we're looking to apply. This is going to be basically our main strategy moving forward, because it's such a simple strategy, but it works very well. The win rate's pretty crazy on it from our testing. I think what I'll do every day, or I'll try to do every day, is I'll try to keep updating the the spreadsheet with the results. I'll do for the month of March, and then from there, I think we're fine because we would have had an entire month documented. But all right, 7 o'clock, guys. Looks like Yellen's going to start speaking soon. Have news marked up right there. We have another higher high right here. So what you guys can look for is for a sell signal and for price to break and close past the pivots right here. If price breaks and close past the pivots with the sell signal, there's going to be an entry for a sell. So yeah, if there's a sell signal here, possible entry, but it's still 5 minutes within news. So I mean, I probably wouldn't take it. So the rule still here applies. It's 7:02 right now. News happened over here at 7 o'clock. So it's still within that parameter. Not exactly the type of trade that you want to hop into. It's a bit risky. So if this here closes, it's technically going to be an entry. I'll just mark it up for you guys, but I'm not going to take it because it's still 5 minutes within news. You don't know if this is going to be continuation or if this is going to be a fake out. You also want to keep in mind that today's Trap Tuesday. Most of you guys already know that. A lot of traps get set up on Tuesdays. So no entry there. The candle never closed with the momentum signal, but price did close below the pivot. So there's no longer any room for entry there. Step 3 would be invalidated because there's no more break and close past the pivot. So we are back to previous setups. Now we just gotta wait for another setup to play out. So we're looking for the sell signal. We still need the sell signal to close though. So just keep that in mind, guys. The sell signal needs to close because if we don't get a sell signal, we won't get a buy signal next. Dijon said, dang, she didn't even get up to walk up to the podium before market dumped. Yeah, I know. Price came right back down right here. A lot of people are speculating sells because she's gonna discuss the interest rates increase and discuss the banks. Nice. Yeah, Jacob said it's gonna sit on my hands today. Yeah, probably a good idea, Jacob. Let's see, Patrick over here actually took it. So Patrick said it took it too because it was also a triple breaking past the low. So Patrick over here actually took the sell from earlier when we just discussed, and he locked in a total profit of 505. Nice work, Patrick. Here's C6 account. C6 first account locked in a total profit of 1,850. So solid profits right there, C6. C6 second account over here, locking a total profit of 850. That was from the earlier trade, the buy. And then his third account over here, total profit of 1,000. So C6 individually trades his accounts. He doesn't use a copier. He's just too worried about the trades not copying or there being issues. So he took that there, and he also took the sells here. So here's more profits. So he took the sell that we marked up earlier, a total profit of 2,350 on this account. Total profit of 1,500 on this account. Total profit of 2,500 on this account. So nice work, Sisu. Solid profits right there. And that's about it for now. Let's see. Madhu's asking, that was just a sell entry for the new strategy, right? So for this one, no. Price needs to break and close past the pivot, Madhu. So like, for example, right here, let me just show you. This candle prior to the momentum signal, this one right here, it already broke and closed past it, right? So there's no entry there. Once this candle here broke and closed past the pivots, it invalidated the entire strategy because these here have to be fulfilled in order. So first we identified a higher high, which is right there. Second, we were looking to identify a valid momentum signal. Momentum signal didn't close on this one. If it closed on this one, then it would have been a valid entry, but it didn't. So with that said, there was no valid momentum signal. We would have skipped to step 3 and that would have hit this right here. So with that said, since there was no step 2, it would have invalidated the entire entry. because there was a momentum signal, but it was already below the pivots. So these here have to come in order. Nice, Martha. Yeah, so Martha just identified she identified the high-low right here. I don't know if anyone saw that. There's a high-low scalp that came up right here. One thing that I mentioned yesterday during the live session was that when you see a momentum scalp or you see a high-low scalp and it's passing a lower low or a higher high, odds of it hitting are very likely. So for example, right here, there was a lower low. This candle right here broke and closed past it. And that would have been entry right there for short. So yeah, if you guys saw that. Nice. Maddie actually caught it. So it looks like Maddie caught it. Martha caught it. Some of you guys here caught it. Zach caught it as well. Great work, guys. I didn't catch it, so it's fine. But here's Martha's profits. Locking a total profit of 1,410. Great work, Martha. All right, solid work, guys. So great profits from you guys so far. Here's Kevin. Kevin locked in a crazy amount of profit. Damn, 48,000. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure what Kevin took, but he took a lot of trades here, all for full TP. So solid wins right there, Kevin. Looks like Kevin might have taken like 30 trades or so, because I'm looking at his profits here. Just trying to do, the math. Crazy amount of trades, but all profitable. So it's great. I know, right, Jacob? I was like, damn, it's crazy. There's like ways to take, like if you want to take a lot of trades, there's actually a lot of entries that came up here. So I could kind of identify a couple entries that came up. So there's a pivot scalp that came up right here. That's one entry. There's a high-low scalp that came up right here. There is a V2 variation right here. So I have a lot of strategies. If you guys have access to my course, this is what the course looks like. If you guys look at my strategies here, I have over 30 strategies. So I could identify different entries that would have came up right here, not ones that I would take. Obviously, it's different when I'm trading on the live because I don't want to be confusing for you guys. And I also don't want to give you guys risky trades. So there's a lot of entries here that came up. If you wanted to take entries, there was probably like, I'm just eyeballing right here. There's like a V1 right here. It's a high-low scalp right here off this one, high-low scalp off this one right here. V1, V2, momentum scalp, momentum scalp. There's a lot of entries here. There's right here, a momentum scalp pullback. If you guys are familiar with that strategy, you would have put a sell stop right here. When price came down, it would have triggered it and it would have went straight to a full TP. So if you guys want to look at those strategies, that the course is completely free. If you guys want to just watch the videos, it's completely free. If you want the indicators, of course you have to pay for that. But you can watch all my strategies here. I have a ton of scalping strategies: high-low scalp, pivot scalp, triple confluence, variation V1, variation V2, variation V3, snipe strategy. There's a ton of strategies here. So just by looking at this here, there's like 6 entries that you guys could have possibly taken if you knew my strategies, but we're only focusing on this one here. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, Fern over here, total profit of 2,730. Nice work, Fern. Looks like you're working on that over trading problem you got there. So it's good to see that you have only 5 trades here and not like 20, and you're in profit. So that's a good thing. Jacob over here, total profit of about 1,000 for the day. Nice work, Jacob. Solid profits right there. Eunice over here, total profit of 507 for the day. Great work, Eunice. And I think that's it for right now. There's another possible entry right here, guys. So there's a lower low, possible buy signal right here if it closes. It's kind of a big candle, but oh, I fucking missed it. I missed it. This thing closed too fast. I wasn't paying attention. Damn, it's gonna hit TP too. I don't know if anyone caught it. I was marking it up, and then as soon as it closed, I missed it. I'm not gonna enter it late. That's like the worst thing. So never enter a trade late, guys. If you guys miss a trade, just wait for the next one. The thing that you got to keep in mind is that Yellen is speaking right now too, so you probably don't want to hop into anything too risky. Like for this right here, I'm gonna sit on my hands. I was gonna take it, but I mean, it's all good. Yeah, Yellen's currently speaking right now. Let me see if I can pull up her live stream. Type in Yellen. Oh, here we go. CNBC. Yeah, you probably don't want to. I mean, you probably want to sit out of the market right now because Yellen, she could say one thing, price will spike down. She could say another thing, price will spike back up. It's not a good time to enter trades. Yeah, so she's right here at the ABA, American Banks Association, American Bankers Association. Um, she's basically giving them, a thumbs up, like, oh, we're gonna save you if you guys go through some stuff, but there's consequences to it. So let's see. Question from Chrissy. Chrissy said, "Morning, Sean. Which video on Kodi can I watch to show me the indicators you're using now?" You could watch any of the videos. Let me just delete this. I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position. If you go on the course, I don't know if you've been on the course, Chrissy, but if you've been on the course, if you scroll down, you just got to go in order. It says right here, Kodi indicators. So if you go to module 3, it has all the indicators right here. Momentum indicator, trend meter, pivots, SRV2, high low, sessions, SR indicator 1. So you can watch pretty much all of the videos right here, and this will indicate what each indicator does. Chrissy said, so it's the same indicators from 2019. I don't know which ones were there from 2019. Which ones do you remember, right? Because you had indicators before. If there's indicators here that you don't remember, then there's new indicators. I'm pretty sure there's new ones here because I don't think this was here back then. The high-low indicator, the one that we're using here, and then also the sessions indicator. So yeah, I think the new one would be the high-low indicator and the sessions indicator. Pivots have been around. So momentum, trend meter, pivots have been around for a long time. I don't know if you had the SR indicator. So there's an SR, SRV2, and then the high-low and the sessions high-low. Yeah, C6 said the pivots were introduced around 2019. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you pretty much have everything except for the high-low and sessions high-low. So I only create stuff when like there's a reason for it. I don't just create random indicators. I create them like when we need a solution to our trading. So yeah, it's just 2 other indicators. I think that you'll like this one a lot though, the high-low, because it helps with you identifying tops and bottoms. Like you can see whenever you have a higher high, price comes crashing down. If you have a momentum that follows it, usually follows through. Same with the opposite right here, lower low, pushes up. All right, so we have a bit of a choppy market right now. Price is dumping, of course, because Yellen is speaking. This is what I was mentioning. It's probably not a good time to enter any trades because whatever she says here can affect the market. It doesn't matter if market's super bullish. If you look here on the higher time frames, market's super bullish, right? On the 2-hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, and 10-minute time frames. But with this right here, I mean, this doesn't matter because even though price is super bullish, Yellen is currently speaking. I mean, she's just reading off what she has written down. She's not really talking about anything off the fly. So you can kind of anticipate what she's saying. She's going to say that they're going to back up the banks, but in order for them to back up the banks, they got to increase interest rates. So you can just assume what she's going to say here. And it's not going to be good for the economy because in order for them to have to back anything up, there needs to be regulation. So as you guys can see over here, price is starting to dump super heavy. I wouldn't recommend chasing the sell though, because it's going to be a fake out. Price can come right back up. She can be saying bad things right now. And then a few seconds later, she can say something good, push price right back up. And then she'll say something bad and it'll push price right back down. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend chasing anything right now or even entering anything while Yellen's speaking. And this conference is probably going to go on for a while. So she's probably going to speak for an hour. Someone's probably going to take over right after. And then I think we have the Fed speaking right after her as well. Let me check. Nothing on the calendar, but I'm pretty sure someone's going to speak after her. Yeah. So we'll see where this ends up going. Yeah, not a good time to enter any trades, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I can answer whatever you guys need help with. If you guys haven't watched the mentoring session from yesterday, I do recommend you guys go and watch it. We went pretty much in detail with regard to my strategy and Vince's criteria for the same strategy. So our strategies are a little different, but the win rate for both of them are still very high. So looking at this over here, here's mine. Mine has a 92.9% win rate for the entire month of March. For Vince's, he has about the same. If you counted all the trades from 6:30 to 8, I had an 87.4% win rate and Vince had a 79% win rate. But if you just cut it down to 6:30 to 9, I had a 92.9% win rate and he had it slightly below 92.3. I just had a couple more wins. I had like about 4 more wins compared to his. So they're both good strategies. Criteria is a little different. But if you guys want to rewatch that live session, just pull up our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kodi Trades. And go to live. And just go to the most recent one right here, this green one. The Kodi live mentoring session from March 20th. It was like a 2-hour, it was like an over 2-hour mentoring session. We went over a lot of questions, went over like the details of the strategy, and went over both of them. So if you guys want to rewatch that, feel free. And if you guys are new here and you guys don't know when I go live, I just go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kodi Trades, click on subscribe and turn on notifications. Whenever I go live, YouTube will send you an email. They'll just say, okay, Sean's going live, here's a link. And I go live every day, Monday through Friday. And then on some days I go live 2 or 3 times. If I have a mentoring session that day. Let's see, Kevin just messaged me. So we mentioned. Yeah, Kevin said, I stack my entries. If I'm confident in a trade and there's momentum, I'll take it about 5 or 6 times. I'll just do that over and over. And that's how I lock in so much profit. Yeah, no, definitely. It's pretty solid. Kevin, trading with conviction. Here's David over here. David, total profit of 1080 for the day. Nice work, David. All wins. It's a solid profit right there from David. Oh yeah, this was Jacob's previous setup. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I remember when you broke it down, Jacob, and this was like a small area. You made it look like so big though. It was like a little nook in the corner, but it didn't even look like that. Like when you started taking it apart, it's crazy. Yeah, it's a nice little area though, for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just looking to the other chat. Yeah, guys, if you guys are, so here's the thing, like the market's kind of going back and forth, so there's no clear direction as to like where price is going. So what I would recommend, guys, is if you guys start to feel FOMO, just close your MT4, right? Like for me, I don't really have FOMO right now, so I don't really care what's going on in the market. Because I understand that the market's risky right now. Yellen is still speaking, and she's going to be speaking for a while. So you just want to be very careful about taking entries when she's speaking, because when she speaks, things can change like in an instant. Like right now, price is kind of flat. So the reason why price is flat right here is because people are waiting for her to say something. Right? Price is probably going to range now for a while. And then as soon as she says something about the market, it's going to start to move kind of crazy again. So yeah, if you guys feel FOMO and you guys feel like you're going to hop into trades without really thinking, just close your MT4. There's no need to force any trades right now. It's a flat market until she says something. So they're talking about the debt ceiling right now. And pretty much here, I'm just going to see price go up and down until she says something, and price will either go up really high or she'll say something, price goes down really low. So it's just a sideways movement. Looking over here on the higher time frames, everything's still bullish though. So I think there might be a correction when she's done speaking. So she's speaking right now, but when she's done speaking, price might just go right back up because the 2 hour here is still bullish. Oh, let's change to the 4 hour. Yeah, the 4 hour is very bullish right here. 4 hours bullish, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes bullish. It's just your shorter time frames here that are currently switching right now, but not exactly stronghold. Let's see. Yeah, no, definitely, Jacob. I agree. Yeah, I'm moving to my new place. Yeah, I'm moving to my new place in a couple of months. So I'll probably be setting out that office. Ronald, we might get an actual office. So we'll see how far we progress with like our prop firm idea. Because if we get the prop firm up and running by like next year, I'll probably just get like a big office space right here in the financial district in Irvine. And we'll probably set up a prop firm there. But I mean, we'll see. There's no rush because we still got to train people. Like with this specific strategy, I need to teach people basically analyze the charts how I can, right? Like for example, right here, I'm not getting FOMO on the charts because I know Yellen's speaking. Like I already know if I take a trade here, I'm probably going to lose it. So I already know not to take a trade. You just got to be smart about it, right? If you guys know something's happening in the market, don't get FOMO. Don't try to like hop into anything. Like I know, for example, right here, I'm pretty sure people are trying to pull into some sells and just chase the sell down, right? So if you think about it, if you go down for like 100 pips, it's not really a big move. The only problem is when it retraces. So it's all fun and games until price starts to retrace. Like for example, it's retracing right here. If you go in for an entry and you enter like super late at this low, this can easily just spike up and stop you out. So just be smart about your decisions, guys. When you guys are taking trades, I know some of you guys are getting tempted to take some sells here. If you don't have an actual strategy and you're just trying to think that you can take a sell and you'll be fine, that's probably the worst way to think of things. If that's the case, it's probably best to just sit out. Yeah, exactly. Patrick said some of my best trades have been no trades at all. Yeah, same here, Patrick. Like if you guys can control your emotions and not trade during like high volatile markets like this, then that's probably the best thing you can do. Like for me, I learned to just sit on my hands and just not do anything, or like even literally sit on my hands sometimes and just look at the chart. Because if your hands are on the mouse, you're just one click away from entering a trade, especially if you're using the quick trade manager. We've had other people in the group where they had to stop using MC4. They started using C-Trader because they didn't want to have the quick trade manager. They said the quick trade manager was too easy to enter trades. So they had to switch to a different platform so they wouldn't just like buy and sell and then enter trades immediately. They wanted to have like a required confirmation before entering the trade. Or I think there's a way to fix it on MC4. Like you can turn off one-click trading and then it'll require that you confirm the entry before actually taking it. Yeah, Lucas said it's definitely mentally healthier to not enter a trade than take a loss. Yeah, because if you take a loss, guys, it's gonna mess with your head, right? You're gonna start to get like, you're gonna be unsure about yourself and unsure about your strategy if you eat a loss. Because the win rate here is extremely high from the strategy. So we know it works. It's obvious that it works. It's just you have to know when to not trade it. Like, for example, the day today is similar to how it was on Friday. You can see here there's 3 entries that happened between 642, 652, and 652. Or I probably have screwed up on this time right here. But there was like 3 trades that happened right after each other and they all lost. But you can see here after, so they're probably speaking for an hour here because this happened between 6 and 7. Once 7 o'clock hit, all the trades were perfectly fine, right? 7 o'clock until noon. All straight wins. So right now, Yellen is still speaking. So what I'd recommend is if you guys do want to trade, wait for her to be done speaking. When she's done speaking, the market will move a lot smoother and you can actually look for some entries at that point. But right now, it's just not a good time to enter a trade. Patrick said, I'm still looking for a trading shrink like Wendy from Billions for my mentals. Yeah, you know, there's this, here, I'll show you guys my Audible library. I've been listening to this one book and it's really good. It's, well, actually they're all good. Because I only buy good books. Like I'm not buying like random books. So this book right here is really good. So this book, The Daily Trading Coach 101, 101 Lessons to Becoming Your Own Trading Psychologist. This will really help you get into your head. Like everything that he says, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will relate because he basically tells you all the screw ups that people do with trading. And you're going to find one of them that aligns with how you're trading. Like if you're not consistent, this will literally tell you why you're not consistent. And then you can fix it. I think these three books or these two are good. I'm reading this one right now. I'm listening to it, The Unknown Market Wizards. These are like some of the best traders in the world that are not like really well known, but these people make like, you know, they make like 7-8 figures a year. Like, and these people are like trading the same type of strategies that we're trading. Like there's a scalper in this book that trades exactly how we trade. And he's like, he makes way more than all the hedge funds and all these other big traders out there. They're just, it's like me. I want to stay under the radar, right? Like you guys see that I'm very consistent every day, but I don't want to be like, I'm not trying to be a trading celebrity, of course. I'd rather stay below the radar, make my money and just live my life and not have to deal with, with the stuff that comes with being well-known in the trading space. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of traders out there that are unknown, but they make way more money than all the hedge funds and any YouTube trader, right? Like no hate against YouTube traders, but I'm not trying to be a YouTube trader or a trading guru. I'm trying to stay under the radar. Yeah, C6 said one of my favorite books, Unknown Market Wizards. Yeah, no, it's really good. I mean, regular Market Wizards was good too, but Unknown Market Wizards is cool because he interviews a lot of these like unknown traders that make way more money than like any other trader in the world, and nobody knows about them. They trade their own little strategies like me here. Like for me, I trade momentum. There's not too many momentum traders out there. If you guys look around, everyone trades support and resistance. Everybody trades price action. Everybody trades order flow or like any of that other stuff. That's why I'm able to have an edge in the market because there's only so many people that trade this way. And I'm able to lock in profits when people aren't. So, you know, just keep that in mind, guys. Chrissy said, I can't find the higher, lower, low on TradingView. That's because you need the indicators, Chrissy. You need to have access to the indicators. They're not public indicators. So you have to have access to the strategies and the indicators. Like you don't have access to any of these indicators, Chrissy, because you have to have, yeah, it's not Pro Plus. It's a Kodi Kai indicators. These aren't free indicators. I created these. So Chrissy, I don't think you have access to the indicators. All right, so guys, if you guys want access to the indicators right here, I'm just gonna give you guys a heads up. You guys need access to the strategies. This isn't TradingView indicators. I created these. These are proprietary indicators. So if you want access to the indicators here, if you go on the website, you have to click on Kodi Kai Trading Strategies here. Chrissy, I think you have access to just the live room. You don't have access to the indicators. So if you want access to the indicators, you have to have an actual subscription to the strategies. So that's why there's a big price difference between the two, right? Because if you're just on the live room, you know, it's cheaper because you're just here sitting on the live. But if you want access to the indicators and trade all day, it's a different subscription. Yeah, it's not part of TradingView, guys. So just keep in mind, that's why you need invite only scripts. So if you guys look at my indicators, they're under invite only because they're private indicators. They're not built into TradingView. Chrissy said she just gave TradingView $30 for nothing. I mean, Pro Plus is still a good feature to have. I mean, you should have Pro Plus if you're using multiple indicators on your chart, Chrissy. I didn't know that you didn't realize that these are separate. But Pro Plus is still good because I think you need Pro Plus to get custom timeframes, and you also need it to get multiple timeframes plus the replay function. So if you ever want to go back and retest, like in order for me to get all of these results over here, there's some back testing. So if you want to go and back test yourself, you can do that. Like, for example, if you want to trade, or if you want to see what trades came up yesterday, Chrissy, I mean, it's still useful, right? Because you're not going to be a professional trader by just copying what I'm doing. You have to actually practice. So if you want to go back and practice, you'll go back to like yesterday. This was Monday, and you can look up all the entries that came up between 6:30 and 12. So that's I think it's still useful. You know, 30 bucks goes a long way. If you guys are getting Pro Plus, I don't think it's a waste of money. I think it's useful because the more you practice, the better you'll get. You're not going to be like amazing at trading after like just watching the videos. You have to actually execute. Yeah, no, it's all good, Chrissy. Just want to clear up any confusion there. So guys, there's still no entries here right now. I think Yellen is still speaking. Actually, she's done. Okay, so she's done speaking. Perfect. Let's see if there's any entries that we can take from now until 8 o'clock or so. All right, perfect. So we got the low over here. We have the lower low. Price already broken, close above the pivots though, so there's no entry for me to take specifically. There might be an entry here applying Vince's strategy. So right here, there's a buy signal, lower low. If this buy signal closes above the pivot 3 right here, then this would be a buy entry applying Vince's criteria. Not my criteria, because I need to cross pivots 1 and 2. But for Vince's over here, let me just update this a little bit so you guys know it's just Vincent. Just got to update a couple of things here. There we go. All right, so there might be an entry here for Vince's strategy. I'm not really applying that one, but I just wanted to show you guys. It didn't end up closing, so there's no entry there for that. It's okay if price pulls back down. So now that price is coming back down where it's currently at, this is fine. We need to get another lower low. So we need a lower low to come up over here. If we get that, price pushes back up, we can take that for a buy. But at the moment, there's nothing for us to take right now specifically. Yeah, Lyric said, even if you have a strategy, you can get burned in the market like this. Yeah, no, exactly. Well, Yellen's done speaking, so we're starting to get a lot of more consistency with the movement here. Actually, Visual Trader said you only trade 1 minute chart because 1 minute is all noise. I mean, it's only all noise if you don't know how to trade the 1 minute chart, right? Everything is all noise if you don't know how to trade specific charts. Like if you don't know how to swing trade, that's all noise too. So yeah, I mean, I don't think the 1 minute's all noise because I've been trading live every day for 7 years. So if it's all noise, I mean, I guess I'm just a really lucky guy if that's the case. There's strategies that you can apply on the 1 minute chart. A lot of scalpers around the world trade on the 1 minute chart. So that's because we know how to read the 1 minute chart. Everyone trades differently, right? You'll never see me knocking someone's strategy. It's just up to the person, right? If the person knows how to trade a 1 minute chart, they know how to trade the 1 minute chart. If they know how to trade a 1 hour chart, like the 1 minute chart's not for the faint of heart, right? If you're too slow and you can't read the charts fast enough, 1 minute chart's not going to work for you. Obviously there's clear patterns here. There's a full back test of the strategy for March. I mean, obviously it's not just noise because there's money to be made in this market. So, yeah, I mean, you know, it's up to everyone's preference, but I don't think the 1 minute chart's all noise because there's patterns here that play out every time. specifically for this strategy here. Hey Brock, how's it going? Yeah, Kevin said exactly. No one knows me, and I make a lot of money trading. Yeah, no, definitely. There's a lot of people out there that are unknown. I think it's better to stay under the radar, because if you are on the radar, typically what market makers and institutions will do is they'll trade opposite of you. So if they see like a big group of people trading one way, that's why you see a lot of people who change the way that they trade. Like for me, I've always been a momentum trader for, the X amount of years. I've been trading for like 10 years now. I've never traded changed the way I traded. In my first couple months or first couple years, I was trying out different trading styles. But what I started to realize is that this is the way that I like to trade. I like to trade momentum. I like to scalp. I like to trade on the 1 minute chart or anything around this area, 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. And this is where I'm the most profitable. So what I'd recommend, guys, is if you guys want to figure out a way to trade, I mean, you guys got to try out different styles. My trading style might not work for you, because if you're too slow trading, this is not going to work for you. If you want to be on the charts for 24 hours a day, this is not for you, right? This is where you get into the charts, you trade for about an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, and then you're done. So yeah, if you guys want to trade all day, then, your type of trading style is probably intraday or swing trading or scalping here. So we're not really looking to trade for more than an hour or more than 2 hours a day. So I trade from 6:30 to 8, maybe 6:30 to 9, and then I'm done. I do whatever I want for the rest of the day. So if that's the type of lifestyle that you want, then scalping might be for you. You just got to be able to focus within that time period. So, all right, we have a lower low right here, guys. If we get a buy signal that closes on this next candle right here, there's going to be an entry for a high low momentum scalp. If we don't get that buy signal, it's going to invalidate the entry, and there's not going to be any entries for you guys to take right now. So there's a pending buy signal right there. 30 seconds running. We'll see if this here closes. You guys got to wait for it to close, right? There's 19 seconds left on this candle, 15 seconds. Gotta actually wait for it to close though. Damn, man. This thing moves too fast. Try to get in for a late entry. I was gonna wait for it to close. I just didn't want it to disappear on me. So see where it's at. I'm going to send alert right here. Just so it can alert me. So I know if I don't know if the spread's wide on my side. There it goes, it pushes up. Full TP. All right, full TP, guys. See, it's not noise. It's not noise. It's always funny when people criticize the way that we trade. It's not noise. I obviously hit our TP right there. There's something there, obviously. Oh man, it's funny. Yeah, so if you guys took it, great work. Everyone got the W right there. See, if you guys can identify this, there's ways to make money on the 1 minute chart. A lot of people don't like the 1 minute chart because they just don't know how to trade it. If you know how to trade it, there's easy ways to make money here. So, all right, guys, full TP on that. Let me see. All right, guys, nice work, Angela. Martha's profits right here. She locked in 1,040 on that. Jonathan caught it. M caught it. Yeah, CT said it's noise, but we have the cheat code. Exactly. Jacob caught it. Nice work, guys. Maria caught it. All right, solid work, guys. I'm going to post up the trade over here. If you guys have any profits to post up, feel free to post it up. I'll look at everyone's profits right here so far. All right, so we got Eunice over here, total profit of 601 for the day. Great work, Eunice. We have oh yeah, this is different. Jacob. You know, the setup was different. This is what I was referring to. I like the wall behind it though. The wooden wall right there is nice. Glenn caught it. Nice work, Glenn. Sachin caught it. Nice work, guys. Yeah, CC, Lucas over here, total profit of 440. Nice work, Lucas. Barack over here, total profit of 502. Nice work, Barack. MC over here, total profit. Looks like she had a couple losses. She said she took a loss when Yellen was speaking, but she caught that last trade for a full TP. So just for future reference, MC, probably best to just sit out the market, right? I know, you know, sometimes you want to take the trade, but it's all good. Now that you got burnt this time, you could at least maybe understand it in the future. Probably best to sit it out, right? So MC over here took a loss when he or she, sorry, MC, I don't know what your real name is. But yeah, right here took a loss for Yellen, but then took the win right there on the buy. So just pretty much minimize the losses on that last trade. Here's Jacob over here. Jacob took the trade as well. Total profit of 884. Nice work, Jacob. Yeah, guys, solid work so far. Nice. Great work, Glenn. Great work, everybody. Yeah, if you guys have more profits to post up, you know, feel free to post them up. What did I get on that? Yeah, got 1,090 off that. So not bad. Yeah, but all jokes aside, guys, you know, there's no one way to trade. If you guys want to trade scalping, if you guys want to trade intraday, if you guys want to trade swing trade, you know, what I recommend is just stick to that trading style. Like for me, I don't like to swing trade because I don't want to be on the charts for like hours and hours and hours. Like when I would swing trade or if I would intraday trade, I would trade on the 4-hour time frame. So you have to be on the chart like a lot to identify this stuff. For these 1-minute trades here, I'm on the chart. I'm actively reading the chart for like a couple of minutes a day, or maybe an hour a day, I guess. And then I'm done. So like once it hits 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I'm pretty much done. I go to the gym and I can do whatever I want for the rest of the day. I come back the next day and I do the same thing. So super simple entry. There's another higher high right here, but price already broke and closed past the pivot. So there's no entry for us to take here. So this is already pretty much invalidated. We need to look for another lower low or another higher high. And from there, that's where we will make the next move. Right now, we just don't have anything at the moment. Here's C6 profits, total profit of 2,250 off this account. Nice work, C6. Second account over here, total profit of 1,900. And then right here, total profit of 2,250, C6. Great work. We got David over here, total profit of 83 on this account, 1,050 on the second account, 343 on the third account. Nice work, David. Glad to see you're still following us. I haven't talked to you in a while, but I'm glad to see that you're still here. So I'm pretty sure you're here on the YouTube, right? So great work, David. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing over here. Okay, Glenn has a question. Glenn's asking, is there an entry at 739? Let me check. Yes. So if you were applying Vince's strategy, so that not mine, but Vince's strategy right here, this would have been another entry right there. And it hit TP right there, Glenn. So that's not my strategy. That's Vince's. So for mine, I'm looking for the break and close. Like this one before is my entry right here. But the one that closed above it right there off the pivot 3 was Vince's. So I just leave the pivot up there for you guys if you guys want to watch it. But yeah, that's Vince's strategy right there. Same thing. He's just looking for price to break and close past the pivot 3. So yeah, you correctly identified that, Glenn. Nice work. You know, I'm really shocked to see a lot of you guys able to identify this even without the indicators. I mean, just watching the live, because I know Glenn here calls out a lot of trades, but he doesn't have indicators. He doesn't even have the live. He's on the YouTube, the free YouTube, and he's here able to identify these entries. So you guys can see that the strategies are not that difficult. Nice. Satyam actually took Vincent's as well. So cool. Nice work, guys. So some people actually took Vincent's entry over here and it played out. So great work, guys. Yes, I said God, it works. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, iPhone. I know it works. It works well, right? The new strategy. So guys, if you guys don't know this new strategy, just watch the mentoring session from yesterday. I went over this for like over 2 hours. Just go on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kodi trades. Click on live right here, and then go to this green one where it says live mentoring session from March 20th. It's about a 2 hour live mentoring session. I went over these strategies in detail, this one and Vincent's. So, all right, we're waiting for the next one. We have the higher high right here, and we're waiting for that sell signal to come up and provide entry for a sell. We just don't have it yet at the moment. Yeah, Satnam said, I'm joining you tomorrow. I like the high-low break also. Yeah, no, that strategy is also really good. There's actually a high-low break right here. Satnam, I don't know if you noticed it, but I didn't take it myself, but maybe Sisuk or one of the other guys took it. There's a break and close right there. And there's a bullish momentum. Oh, nice. Yeah, Satim is actually in it right now. So I'm not in this position, guys. I'm just marking it up for you guys. This is the high-low scalp. There's a higher high right here. Price broken, closed past the structure, confirmed, and looks like it's going to push up from this point. I think this is a good strategy. It's just I don't like to confuse people with too many strategies, so I'm just focusing on just this one for now. But if you guys know my other strategies, you guys can apply whichever you like. It's just the volatility here is very low, so it's kind of and the spread's not too bad. The spread's 150 right now. Could be worse. Full TP. So Satyam, I think you caught that right there, right? So I don't know who caught the high-low scalp right here. I marked it up for you guys. Full TP on that. So guys, there's patterns here, right? You guys can see the patterns play out over and over again. I think the 1 minute's like one of the easiest time frames to trade if you know what you're doing. That's why I prefer to trade on it. And the cool thing about the 1 minute is that you don't get screwed, right? Like if you guys are intraday trading, you guys will be in profit for like hours and hours and hours, and all of a sudden price will reverse on you based off news. For the 1 minute, the market makers aren't really playing around with you here because you're trading it at high frequency. So you're able to get in and out of these trades super quickly. So whoever caught the trade there, nice work. Looks like Chrissy caught it. Satyam caught it. Yeah, exactly. Satyam said true. 1 minute, less stress, leaving money on the table. Exactly. Because you're in and out super quickly. You're like in the trade and then you're out like within a few minutes. Chrissy said she made $10, but she knows that works. Yeah, no, profit's profit, Chrissy. I wouldn't care if it's $1, $10, $20, $100. If you're making profit trading and you're consistent, it's going to add up over time. It's just a matter of time until, you know, you get better, you start to increase lot size. That $10 turns into 100, that $100 turns into 1,000. Like all the trades I take, I go for at least 1,000 per trade. So like for right now, we took that last trade. I took 2 entries, made 2,000, right? Within like minutes. So yeah, exactly. Chrissy said facts as long as it works. That's really what's key. All right, here's Martha's profits. Total profit of 450 off that high-low scalp. Nice work, Martha. Yeah, Martha said she entered the high-low scalp late, so she had a partial move. That's fine. Like what I was just saying with Chrissy, you know, profit's profit. It's better to have some profit than no profit, or some profit than any loss. So if you guys enter late, that's fine. Just make sure to pull out when you need to. Don't force it. All right, we have a higher high right here. It's got to close with the sell signal, and it has to close below the blue pivot right there. Got to make sure it actually closes though, so just keep that in mind. Didn't close with the signal. So this candle here closed below the pivots. It invalidates the criteria because you need that momentum signal to close below the pivots. It didn't close there, so there's no entry. On to the next one. That's how you guys have to think. You guys got to think fast. Right here, I already mentioned, I explained to you guys why there's no entry. Don't dwell on this. So don't think, okay, I could enter this late. Once you've already identified that there's no entry there, move on to the next one, right? So just leave that alone, move on to the next one. There's going to be more entries. So there's no need to stick with. I mean, there's no reason to keep sticking and looking at this here. This is technically another entry for a different strategy, but it's not one that I'm applying. I'm focusing on just one right here. But this here would be a pivot scalp entry. So if you guys know my other strategies, the pivot scalp, this would be a pivot scalp. So we'll watch it, but not one I would take. So right there, full TP off the pivot scalp. If you guys are familiar with the strategies, as I mentioned, there's a lot of entries here that you guys can take. This right here is a pivot scalp entry. It's not a high level momentum scalp, but it is a pivot scalp. So if you guys want to learn that strategy, I have it right here. 1 minute pivot scalp. Confirm overall bias. All the time frames are bearish right now. Bearish on the 5, bearish on the 10, bearish on the 1. Confirm a valid momentum signal. Confirm prices below pivots 3 and 4. Enter on the close of the candle. Candle close right there. Entry, full TP. So this is why people want access to my indicators, right? Because my indicators are they're super easy to use. And there's a lot of strategies that you guys can apply. You know, I have about 30 strategies that you guys can learn from. If you guys want access to the strategies, just so that you guys can learn everything, just go on the website, go to kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access, and you'll have access to all of the course videos. So when you have the course right here, you can pull up pretty much all the strategies that I've created over the 7 years that I've been trading with you guys. So I've been trading live with you guys for about 5 or 7 years. And all of my strategies that I've ever came up with that are profitable are on this course. So I share everything with you guys. I don't hide anything from you guys, right? It's, I feel like that's, yeah, and this was actually an entry for Vince's strategy as well, what Dan just mentioned. Yeah, so for my criteria, it didn't meet criteria because this candle right here closed below the pivots. But this right here would be an entry for Vince's strategy because it closed below the pivot 3. So what I'd recommend, guys, is if you guys are looking to apply the strategy, focus on just one or two, on just one of them, because you might get confused if you have two. So like if you're just using mine, you can take off pivot 3, right? You don't really need it because you're just looking for price to break and close past the pivot. However, if you're using Vincent's, then you would need to keep pivot 3 on there, because right here you can see there's a higher high. This candle broke and closed below the pivot 3, this gold pivot, and that would have been the entry for Vincent's conditions. Yeah, so you guys understand the difference there? The difference with mine is that I'm using pivot 2 and 3. So for me right here, this candle is already below it, so it already invalidated it. But for Vince's, it's different because he's using pivot 3 and his was still valid. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's getting close to 8, guys. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and then we will go from there. But yeah, I was gonna trade till 9 today, but I'm just gonna cut off at 8. I think today's kind of a risky day to be trading till 9 because you might get a swing back in price because after the Fed spoke. Fed's done already, but I thought there was more news coming up. I think there is more news at 8 o'clock, right? Yeah, 8:30. Yeah, at 8:30 we have more news, and then we have news later today as well. Yeah, crypto said big Fed meeting tomorrow. Yeah, there is. It's Fed day. So they're going to be discussing the interest rates that are obviously going up. Market's probably going to be low for tomorrow. But you're going to see a lot of volatile movements. It's going to happen at 11. So we could probably trade in the morning, but yeah, probably want to be safe as we get closer to the later end of the session. Jacob's asking, is Kodi and Kai in the back? Kodi is, that dude's knocked out. Oh, they both are actually. Can you see him? Yeah, you can see Kodi's right there, he's knocked out. And Kai's right there, knocked out as well. Kodi's on his bed over here. Yeah, they're both like knocked out right now. Nice work, Martha. So Martha said she took a loss right there during Yellen's speech, but she bounced right back. So she lost a little bit right there. I mean, you didn't really lose too much. You're already up over here on your first trades. So you're up on the first trades, lost a little bit down 100, and then you made three wins right here. So you're back in a profit. Basically wiped out the loss, and then you made profit on top of it. So great work right there, Martha. Yeah, Satyam said Vincent is really good, but late. So I prefer yours is quicker. Thanks, Vincent, wherever you are. Exactly right, Brock. Yeah, no, Satyam. That's the reason why I personally don't like it either. His is kind of a later entry, so you wait for more confirmation, but the downside to taking his entry is that it might be overextended by that time, right? So that's why for me personally, I like taking mine. I mean, you can take both, but mine's earlier. So you kind of get the breakout before it happens. And it's just easier to catch. Yeah, exactly. Satyam says scared if momentum is dead. True. Yeah, same here. You know, all these strategies are based off momentum. So you got to make sure that there's actual volatility there, or volume in general. I have the volume bar here, but I don't like leaving it up because it kind of gets in the way. But I mean, it's still useful, the trend meter down below. I don't like leaving the trend meter on either, because when you have the trend meter on, it kind of throws you off. So I kind of take some of these off here. Let's see, Visual Trader is asking, what is the average winning pip per trade? So that's like you shouldn't be basing things off pips. You should be basing things off percentage. So average winnings per percentage is 0.5% usually. Pips don't really matter, because the pip doesn't matter depending on your lot size, right? If you have a big lot size, you can go for a few amount of pips and you can make a lot of profit. You can be on a small lot size and you can make a little bit of profit. Everything is based off percentage points, right? That's the proper way to identify average winnings. Average percentage per win is 0.5%. So we have about like X amount of trades, like for example, over here. So like how many trades per day, right? Like per day, there's probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 trades. So like 8 times 0.50. Sorry, 8 times 50, 4% gain. So 4% gain on a $200,000 account if you're on an FTMO. $8,000 profit. So percentages make more sense. Like counting things by pips is like, it's like archaic, right? It's like, I feel like people count, because it's crazy when you see signal providers, they try to count stuff by pips. They're like, oh, we made like 1,000 pips or whatever, but like it's on a small account. So if you do 1,000 pips on a small account, it's not going to equate to that much. If you're trading on a regular size account, because the thing with people is like, you have to like realize that it's all about percentages, right? At the end of the week, you should be up in percentage. You should be up in percentage at the end of the month. That's like how FTMO and like all these other funding companies put it together. They're not like, oh, you have to lock in 100 pips, right? No, it's like you have to lock in 10%. So using proper risk management, you should be risking about like 1% per trade. And then, if you're doing a negative risk to reward, you should do like half of that, if not a third. So the way that people should measure it is through percentage points. Because if you're doing by pips, you're not going to be using proper risk per trade. Like if you're going for 1,000 pips or 500 pips, it's not going to make sense. You're not going to use the same lot size per trade. Lot size is going to differ by your risk appetite. So, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. If there's any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. If there's anything else that you guys want me to check out, feel free to let me know. I was going to trade today until 9, but it's just not the day to really be risking too much. Also, the volatility here is pretty much dead. So it's pretty much going to be flat from now until probably 9 o'clock. I think a lot of the volatility is out because Yellen's already done speaking. There's not really much going on that's going to push price around at the moment. So if we were to hang around, we'd probably have like maybe 1 or 2 more trades, but I don't think it's worth sitting around for. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com. You guys can also message me on Telegram @KodiKaiTrades. If you guys are brand new here and you guys want to be watching my live sessions every day, I trade live every day, Monday through Friday. I've been doing this for over 5 years now, almost 7 years now. Just go to the YouTube channel, click on subscribe and turn on notifications. And whenever I go live, YouTube will send you an email. They'll say, Sean's going live right now. Here's the link. And then you can watch my live sessions. I mentor weekly on Mondays. So yesterday was our mentoring session. If you guys want to rewatch the mentoring session to learn this strategy and to learn Vince's strategy, I went over these in detail. I had a 2-hour mentoring session where I went over this stuff. Just go to the YouTube channel, click on live, go to this first green one right here where it says mentoring session from March 20th. And you guys can see here it's a 2-hour mentoring session. Went all this stuff in detail, went over all the questions, and it'll help you guys understand for tomorrow as we continue on to, trade the same strategy for like the rest of the year, I guess. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for the next live session. And if you guys have questions,